Hello, everyone. My name is Ron Galloway, and I'm one of the counselors at the UNCW Counseling Center. And I'm making a short presentation just to talk to you about some things, some activities that you can possibly do to keep from being bored. Talking about the fact that you need to take care of yourself during this time. We're in a very unusual situation, and of course, I get it that the motivation to get up and do things is kind of dropping with a lot of people. It's completely understandable. However, we need to kind of, wake ourselves up and get up and do some things to keep us motivated, to keep us going until all of this is, hopefully over and we can get back to some sense of normalcy. I'm making just a short presentation. I'm going to talk about some activities and the importance of doing that. And I hope you enjoy the video and the presentation. And thank you. So some of the common statements I've been hearing lately about what's going on and how people have been feeling during the social isolation and staying in place. A lot of people have been saying some of these things. They've been saying basically they're bored. I don't think any of us are shocked by that. A lot of people just basically saying I have nothing to do. The easiest thing that a lot of people end up reverting to is playing with their phone. I mean, we have everything at our fingertips sometimes with our phones. And, I've had some people tell me they've been playing with their phones for hours. Another thing, unfortunately, is that I've heard a lot of people say that they either lost their job or can't find a job because no one is hiring due to the virus. And then finally, a really common thing I've been hearing is people are actually fed up with watching Netflix. They just can't watch anymore. They've watched all their shows, and we've had such a long time that they have been binge watched a lot of things, and so now they just want something else to do. So why is it important for us to try to overcome this boredom? Try to stay busy and try to stay motivated. If you look during these times right now, there's extreme boredom. There's a huge lack of motivation. But this is the time where you really have to try to dig down deep and get yourself to get moving, to think about the things that you used to do that you enjoyed, or things that you've thought about doing and haven't had the time or the opportunity to do so. I think a lot of us have said, when I have the time, I'm going to do blank. Well, now it seems like a lot of us have the time. So maybe it's time to really look and see that, check out some of those things that you had thought about doing before, looking into, learning or trying or whatever, and give them a shot. Another thing is, taking care of ourselves allows us to feel better about what's going on. We're already in a situation that is putting everybody in a bad spot. So we want to try to do what we can to put ourselves in a better mood, to put ourselves in, a mindset that is more productive and allows us to become the best versions of ourselves, not just for ourselves, but for people around us. And then, of course, we want to try to stave off depression, anxiety, sadness, and any other negative feelings, even anger. A lot of people are angry about what's going on. So we want to try to stave off those negative feelings. And of course, there are, the basics of self-care. We want to try to maintain a routine, okay? That means just your best effort if you can. So we want to try to get enough sleep. I've talked to plenty of people who've been staying awake, way later than usual and waking up way later than usual, or only getting a few hours of sleep. I understand that, this whole situation that we're in has thrown people off. That's why I say you want to try. You just want to see if you can, maintain some kind of routine. Okay, so try to set a time to go to sleep. Try to set a time to wake up. All right. And of course, eating healthy. But I made it a point to say, or at least making your best effort to do so. I completely understand, we don't all eat 100% healthy all the time. But I will say, try to make your best effort to do so. We have a lot of things that are open that you can get takeout and stuff like that. And of course, every fast food restaurant is open. And so, that's really easy to get. And I understand how that works. However, if you can, cook at home, and you end up making yourself, some healthier meals, then by all means do so. And of course, we want to try to get some exercise. If not every day, as often as you can. It doesn't have to be anything intense like a CrossFit workout or anything like that, but we do want to try to get some kind of exercise on a regular basis. Get those endorphins flowing. Like I said, whether it's mild, moderate to intense, but we do want to get our bodies moving. Okay, so I've compiled a short list of activities. These are things that I've heard from others, and some of the things I thought of, and some of the things I've seen just in media that a lot of people have been doing. Obviously, there are going to be a ton of other activities you can do, but I figured I'd just throw some things, at you on this presentation, just in case something kind of sparks your interest and makes you want to give some of them a try. So, I've got talking to old friends. That there are a lot of people that, we haven't talked to in a long time, that we've been busy or, whatever reasons have kept us from staying in contact or contacting in a long time. Give somebody a call, give, some FaceTime, something like that, just to reconnect with, some old friends or relatives. Okay. A lot of people are playing video games with their friends that live like miles away, because now we can play them online and play against each other, or play, on the same team, things like that. Painting, drawing, or even, writing, whether it's journaling or writing, just for your own leisure. If you're a writer, by all means do so. Home improvement or apartment improvement projects, depending on what you can do with your apartment. Some people have been painting, some people have been decorating different things. Just something you can do in your apartment to change the scenery. Home workouts. There are a lot of apps and videos right now because gyms can't open, so they've been putting out a lot of videos. But yeah, you can do your home workouts. Learning new recipes. I've actually done that myself. I've looked up online and learned how to do a couple of things that I, had been thinking about doing, but I was like, well, I got the time to do it now. So learning some new recipes. Photography. I know a lot of people that are, love to get into photography, taking photos and, getting on the computer and either using filters or whatever to change what they look like, or, just happen to take some great photos just to have. That's something that a lot of people have been doing. If you're a reader, reading for leisure, that's something that if you've got like a book that you've been wanting to read, but you haven't been able to do it because you've been so busy, you definitely got the time now. Window gardening. And I put window gardening specifically because if you live in an apartment, obviously you can't have a garden, but you can get one of those window boxes and put it up on the windowsill. And, some people have been growing, their own herbs. Some people have just been growing like, flowers like succulents or something like that are easy to maintain. Give that a shot. And just to add to the list of activities, we've got learning or relearning to play an instrument. I used to play saxophone back in high school. I've recently picked it back up and have, tried to, kind of refresh my skills on playing. And it's been really fun and kind of interesting, to get back into that. If you have access to an instrument and you used to play or you'd like to learn to play, by all means, I think that would be a fun and interesting thing to do. Learning and practicing a new language. If you have some language skills already, you have the opportunity to brush up on them, or if there's a language that you've just been meaning to, learn, we've got plenty of time now. I'm not saying you're going to become fluent, but I think you've got plenty of time to at least get some basics that maybe you haven't had the opportunity or time to really get into. So, and if you've got a friend or someone else who is also interested in do that, it's better for you to learn off of trying to speak to each other in a foreign language. Also going through your clothes and belongings. Okay, so decluttering is always a good thing. We can, get rid of some of our old clothes, just some things that we don't need anymore that have just been hanging out in your house or your apartment that you can finally get rid of, and get a box or bags or whatever and go drop them off into one of the Salvation Army boxes or Goodwill boxes or something, just to declutter your place. And then finally, going to some of our local parks. So I made it a point to take a couple of field trips recently to some of our parks. And, I took some photos that I've used to make a video on the next page, just so you can see, some of the beautiful natural parks that we have around here that I think you'd be very interested in. And if you have the opportunity to go check out, I think it would be great for you to do. Some people, may not even be aware of what we have here in Wilmington. We've got several parks. I just went to a few, but if you want, you can always look up online about parks in Wilmington or parks in New Hanover County. But I hope you enjoyed the video of the parks that I was able to, make a video for you to see. Okay? Thank you.